What's up, worship community? Hey, my name is Kaylin. I'm pretty sure you've all met me, but that's my name just in case you haven't. If you haven't met Harrison, here's Harrison Dent. He is my assistant. What's your title?
Worship
Administrator. So if you got an email recently, it's probably from him, not from me. He's helping this ship run. So welcome to the first episode of hopefully a series that we're going to do this semester and semesters to come. The goal is to keep the worship community just connected with what's going on in the worship department here at the church. I want you guys, as you're out there leading in your life groups or doing whatever you're doing, to feel like you are connected to the worship of this church, not just to your own little segment, and that you've got a community here to reach out to. So we're going to be doing a bunch of different stuff, but the primary purpose is to keep y'all connected, to give you guys resources for growing. You know, I might be doing some other videos about, I don't know, how to pick songs for a set list or how to play acoustic guitar at a life group, and just anything that I think would be helpful for you guys. You guys are welcome to shoot me an email or text or whatever of things that you think might be helpful to you or other people. We really just want to be a resource to you guys. And then the last thing that we're going to be using this platform for is for sharing stories about people in the worship department, or in the worship community even. At large, maybe that's songs that they're writing or testimonies of what God's done through worship in their lives, and just to help you guys get to know each other a little bit better. So anyways, that's what these episodes are going to be about. This first episode, I really wanted to get you guys connected in with just, I feel like, the vision that God's given us for this season, this semester, at our church. I've just seen a theme recently arise every time I'm picking a worship set or anytime we're leading our congregation, of God calling us into really like honest gratitude for the gospel. And at the end of the day, I mean, real worship is going to come from a real response. And alongside that, I feel like he's been inviting us into, I've been calling it like risking in expression of worship. Oftentimes when we get into a congregational or we come to worship together with multiple people, it's like the goal is to worship God, but it's different than your time with Jesus. It's different, you know, there's people around you. So what's the purpose of us worshiping, you know, side by side next to each other? What's the purpose of us worshiping in a band together?
Yeah.
We're worshiping as a family. When we risk in expressing our worship in that environment, what we get to do is really invite people in to sing what God's done in us. When I'm jumping up and down, I'm not jumping up and down just because I like exercise. You know, it's like I'm not just here so that I can personally have an encounter with God. I'm here to encourage the people around me as well. And so if I can engage, if I can express in a way that communicates to the people around me, they're getting to see that, like, hey, that person's been changed by God. They are filled with gratitude. They are celebrating, and that oftentimes can be a trigger, a reminder, and really an inspiration for other people to say, like, you know what, I know what God's done for me too, and I'm like ready to celebrate. So I don't know, Harrison, what have you seen in our congregation and in the way we lead worship at this like risk of expression and anything that it's created, at least in the congregation or even in you as you've been worshiping with us?
Yeah, we've had some pretty amazing worship moments, right, in the past like month, even through the past summer. So this summer around, it was like we really were going after connection together as a team.
Yeah.
And in that we found that God always shows up. Yeah. And that he's always going to be faithful and he's always going to move the room with us. And so it was really, really good to just see that and just sit with that and know like he is going to be there and he's holy, he's righteous. Yeah. He's going to be in that moment with us. So that was kind of the coolest thing of this summer.
Awesome. So that like connection with the team, which is basically being willing to get outside of yourself in worship, you know, being willing to like actually connect with the people around you in worship and know that like, hey, we're here together. I'm not just here alone having a time with God, but like we're here together worshiping as a family. So it's a big deal for sure. So anyways, that's what God's been stirring in the worship team this semester. And so if you're out there leading in life group, think along those lines, pray along those lines, and ask God if he's doing the same thing in your life group. Is there a risk in expression? Is there a way that you can invite people into expressing their worship in life group, so that we can all like see what God's doing? Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to do in this realm of risking is talking about songwriting. We've been going for it, trying to go for it really hard, and I would say we haven't. None of us are experienced songwriters. None of us have produced anything that's gone out into the world and got a million hits or anything. But that's okay. We are trying to figure out what does God want to do in songwriting in our church. My desire in this next semester and this coming years is that we create a place where people come and they find that God's put a song in their heart or songs in their hearts, and they're in an environment where they feel like they can go after that. They can write a song, they can get feedback, they can fix it, make it better, make it stronger, and really just learn how to sharpen this gift of songwriting. So we'll probably be pulling in a bunch of different songwriters for you guys to hear from that are from our community. And today we wanted to bring in our very own staff family pastor, Chris Pletcher, to show you one of the songs that he's worked on and kind of how he's gotten it to where he's gotten it. So Chris, come on in, man. All right, thanks for joining us, man. Chris, okay, tell us about this song. Chris, if you guys don't know this, but Chris has written about 700 songs in the past year. He's told me about 15 of them or so. He's been a songwriting machine, felt like God's called him into it, and so he's just been going for it. And we've been working for about a year trying to figure out how to co-write together without hurting each other's feelings. And we're getting there. We're getting there. So tell us about this song. This one's pretty recent for you. Yeah. Tell us how you got to it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a little bit of background, I guess. I've been, playing the guitar for 15 years, and but I'm just like kind of a decent guitar player. Been worshiping God for like 15 years also, and as that place of just worship, as Kaylin shared earlier, just like continually stirring that place of expression to God, towards God. As that place in my own life began to grow, I began to notice like that. I was, not just worshiping to the song sheet that I had printed out anymore, but I was, kind of going beyond that, starting to sing my own songs, sing new songs, just kind of express my heart more. And for a long time, as that place grew, I didn't try to capture any of that. It was just kind of like a place for me and the Lord. But then there came a point about 3 or 4 years ago where I felt like the Lord called me to begin to steward songwriting more or less and began to like just invest in the process, I guess. So a couple years in that, Kaylin and I started kind of trying to write music together. So this was about a year and a half ago probably, and just kind of I would bring some ideas and play some things for Kaylin, and he offered just a lot of needed just kind of like advice, critique, pushback, like and the collaboration process has brought us to, I think, where we are today, which is getting closer to good. Yeah. I mean, I think we're getting to some like pretty good things, but this isn't like we sat down in our first go around, we just like had a great song. Yeah. It is a songwriting is work and it's a process. So anyway, so this song, we were actually at a pastoral retreat like a month ago or so. I guess it was in August, a couple months ago, and we were up in the morning. We were all spending time with God, doing our own deal, and felt like the Lord was speaking Psalm 18 for me that day. So I went, read Psalm 18, and read this verse. It says, "I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies." And I just like that word, like I am saved. Like I am saved. I was like, man, I want to like write this song, like, and so I started to write it that morning, and actually pretty quickly the song took place, and the verses that I'm going to play, the first part of the song is pretty much what came out in that initial session. But when I played it for Kaylin the first time, I was really excited about it, and but when I got to the chorus, it was sort of like it just kind of it kind of flatlined, I think, for Kaylin, and he liked the song and liked parts of it, but his feedback was, I was like expecting more from the chorus, and so even though that was like, it's hard when you risk on something creatively and then you put it out there for somebody and they're like, oh yeah, it's pretty good, or that's okay, or like. You want people to be excited because you're excited about it, but you just kind of, I think a lot of this process is for me to learn like how to be teachable and receive that and go and make it better. And I think, honestly, our process has been that being able to do that, things have actually gotten better, and we're starting to get a little closer. So yeah, so basically I'll play a little bit through this, and Kaylin's going to sing with me, and basically the chorus that you're going to hear was, this song probably sat on the shelf for at least 6 weeks, and I couldn't figure out. And then one day just kind of dug back into Psalm 18 and started to get the sense of really what is this saying and what do I want it to say, and try to rewrite the chorus. And I think we landed with something that's pretty good. Yeah, that we like to sing at least. So maybe you will too. So. My rock, my strength, my deliverer, and you are worthy to be praised. My shield, my horn, you are my fortress, Lord, and you are worthy to be praised. Death, it may surround me, distress may be abounding, but I will call upon your name. The earth, it may be shaken, the nations may be raging, but I will call upon your name. When I call, you come. When I cry out, you will run to rescue me with your great love. You speak a word, my enemies run. You speak a word, my enemies run. So that was much better. The original chorus was literally just saying, I am saved, I am saved, I am saved from my enemies. It was kind of this like repetitive, and it was
so it was the goal.
Simple.
You were like saying the goal. The goal was to communicate, I am saved from my enemies. But when we look at a chorus, we're always saying, like, we're trying to drive home the main point of the song. We want it catchy, singable, as far as, you wanted to sing it as a melody, but the words are driving home your main point. They're not cluttered. You're not adding extra words to over embellish your point. You're really just trying to get to the point, but also a lot of times trying to get to the point at least in a way that feels fresh. I love this. Every time we get to the chorus, for me, I'm like, if I wasn't in yet, I get in. You know what I'm saying?
One of those powerful things that I've learned from Kaylin and the songwriting process is the purpose of a bridge in songwriting is actually to kind of look at the chorus from a different perspective and almost kind of restate the truths of the chorus from a different angle. And so the bridge just goes like this. When my enemies are too strong, when all my hope is gone, when waters rise and I sink, I will call upon my King.
Awesome, man. Really good song. I love it. We're still working on it, and I mean, it might be done, it might not. I don't think we've even decided yet.
They're rarely ever done.
Rarely ever done. He sent me an email the other day, and it said, the song name Final Copy, and I was like, Final Copy. Yeah, exactly. We'll see about that. Great job, man. The song is incredible. I love singing it. I love hearing you sing it. He always mentions before he sings that he's not that great of a singer. I love hearing him sing, especially hearing him sing his songs. So I hope you guys did too. We will catch you guys in a couple weeks with another email update and little video blog. But until then, keep going for it. Keep leading in your life groups, pushing people into Jesus, and growing in your own expression of worship. Love you guys. See ya.